Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, so that means it is Follow a Sketch Friday. Now, this is going to be the very last Follow a Sketch Friday before we start Follow a Sketch February. Follow a Sketch February has a sketch every single day and a video to go along with it. The sketches will be in the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group, so if you want to play along ahead of time, that's where they will be. Today's sketch is this one right here. It has 4 2x4 photos, some blocks, and a big border. So I grabbed my photos, I grabbed my papers. Let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am taking that really busy pattern paper from Paige Evans. I'm going to take this Vicky Booten Storyteller paper and use the B side and place it on top of it. Now, I thought I was just going to put this black and white kind of dotty paper over top of all the colored paper. However, I felt like I needed a little extra something between the two, so I went ahead and used this kind of pool / teal / aqua / whatever color you want to call that between them. And I really think that that just adds that little bit of an extra touch that the background needed. So now I'm going to trim down my photos to 2x4, except I don't really trim them down to 2x4. I trim them down to 2x5. And I do that because I want a little bit more of detail in the photos. Now, if these were photos where these were the only times I had ever taken these photos, I probably would not have cut them down like this. However, I have multiple photos of the exact same thing because I took lots of photos in Star Wars Land in both Walt Disney World and in Disneyland. So this is why I feel confident and comfortable trimming up these photos. Like I said, if these were one-offs, I would have not trimmed them down whatsoever. So I have this piece of paper. It's been floating around my desk. I'm going to go ahead and use that as a photo mat. Now I am going to go ahead and place these photos down with a little bit of a gap in the paper between them. What that's going to do is bring kind of these bright, bold colors to the forefront of the layout. I do have them all the way around the edge of the background, but that black and white paper really does tone it down. So I want it to bring these photos up to the front. Look at that. Look at those big old butterflies on that paper. Good thing that's the opposite side, right? So I'm going to grab some fun foam, and this might be the biggest piece of fun foam I've used on a layout. I just trim off a tiny little bit, and I'm going to have these photos pop up. So I go ahead and get them down. As you can see, I'm pretty closely following a sketch here. Now, instead of using paper strips or paper scraps or anything like that, I'm going to build some layers with some washi tape. I'll put some paper down here, but ultimately these little blocks of gray boxes that are in the sketch are going to basically be washi tape. Now this hexagon paper, again, another paper that's kind of floating around my desk. I have eliminated my scraps, you guys. I don't keep tiny, small, little pieces of paper. It clutters up my room and it stresses me out. So into the bin they go. But these larger pieces of paper, they either go back into my pattern paper storage, or they kind of hang out on my desk for a little bit until I use them up. And I'm okay with that solution. It works for me. Having larger scraps laying around on your desk might not work for you. You might need a place for it. I went ahead and trimmed the little hexagons here on the end just to give it a little bit of interest so everything wasn't so squared off and blocky. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some washi tape down. So I specifically used the star washi tape because this is Star Wars Land. So I wanted it down on the bottom and I also wanted it on the top. Now I'm just kind of rolling through my washi tape, trying to figure out what I would like to use trying to figure out what colors might go well with the colors that are in the layout, especially all of that bright, funky color around the edges of it. So I am going to use a variety of washi tapes. I've got some sparkly, I've got some stripes, I've got some dots. The stars here are a silver foil. So there's all kinds of textures and all kinds of patterns and all kinds of color. And that is making me super happy. I felt like I needed to add a little bit more color down here as well. I didn't want it to be one big stripy hexagon bit. Now in the sketch, that obviously calls for a good amount of journaling right there, but like I said earlier, you guys, I've taken a myriad and multitude and all of the other M words of photos that you can imagine for Star Wars Land in both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So don't really have a lot to say here. I went ahead and pulled out some of my thickers slash almost kind of like thicker storage. And I pull out these foam words from Jelly Bean Soup, and I'm going to use the word amazing. Now, the word also came with UR, but I don't need to put UR on here. I'm just going to put amazing. Now, I know I need to add a little bit of decoration to this layout. In the sketch, the decoration really isn't put on there for you, so it's up to your own interpretation. You could go with no decoration, just like the sketch looks, or you could do what I do and do whatever you want, because a sketch is just something to guide you. So I have these Vicky Bouton chipboards, and I really like these circles, so I'm going to go ahead and layer those up over top of that washi tape. And I tried to use this circle that says love this, but every time I placed it on the layout, no matter where I placed it, it felt wrong. So I went ahead and pulled that off. I am going to go ahead and flip through some things and try to figure out what the heck I am doing. Ultimately, I go get these star punches. Now, these star punches are really, really cool star punches, you guys. It embosses and die cuts them or punches them out at the same time. So your stars have a little bit of a lift on them. Now, to keep that lift on the stars, you're going to want to put something under there. So I go ahead and use a little bit of pop foam under there. And what that does is it just keeps that lift up so you still have that 3D effect with your stars. I'm going to use two different colors of stars. I'm going to use the larger star punch with the orange paper that I have, and the smaller punch is going to be this hexagon paper. Now, it doesn't bother me that the hexagon paper is basically on top of hexagon paper down here at the bottom, because there is that washi in between them just ever so slightly, so it works for me. If this stresses you out, you obviously are not going to do that. You obviously will use some other kind of star. So like I said, a little bit of pop foam goes in there. I'm kind of figuring out where I want the stars to go in relationship to the circles. I just really think that stars and circles are a great match. So once I get the stars on here, that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Follow a Sketch Friday. And then real soon, Follow Sketch February is happening. Make sure you join the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group. All of the sketches should be posted there tonight. If they're not, they will be up first thing tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.